Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make one of these 3D crystal beaded strawberries, and you can also turn these into earrings if you wish. So to make one of these you will need 33 of these red 4mm bicones, 34 green bicones, and these are 2mm, just a handful, just a sprinkling of white size 11 seed beads. You will also need your fireline. I'm using £6 crystal. You can use an alternative thread, but this does need to be quite sturdy for this project because the crystals are heavy, so fireline works really well for this. And you'll need your beading needle. If you want to make earrings you'll have to double the amounts, and you'll also need your earring hooks or earring findings. Let's get started. Okay, so thread your needle and then pick up 8 of your red 4mm bicones and slide those down and leave a few inches for your tail thread, and then you're going to sew back through all 8 of these crystals. So sew through them all again, and then sew through one more bead so that you're exiting out of the same one that your tail thread's coming out of. Then when you pull it tight it should make a circle like this. Now we're going to pick up 3 more of our bicones, our red ones, and this is the bead you're coming out of. I'm going to go back into that bead in the other side, like that. You should have this. Now you're going to pass through the next bead in the circle. So now you should have this. Now we're going to pick up 2. Pick up 2 more, and you're coming out of this one here. You're going to go down through this one on the side and through the one that you're coming out of, like that. And now you're going to go through the next one in the circle. Now you're going to do the same again. Pick up 2 more. Coming out of this one, you're going to go down through this one on the side, through the one you're coming out of. The next one in that circle. Okay, keep your tail thread pulled nice and tight so that your middle circle doesn't loosen. And again, pick up 2 more. Coming out of this one, you're going to go down through that one on the side and through the one that you're coming out of, like that. And then through the next one in the circle. And you're going to keep doing this. So pick up 2 more, go down through the one on the side, through the one that you're coming out of, and through the next one in the circle. Pull it tight and it will probably start to bunch up like this. Now pick up 2 more, go down through that one in the side, through the one you're coming out of, and through the next red bicone in the circle. We're nearly all the way around. I'm going to pick up 2, again go down through that one on the side, through the one that you're coming out of, and through the last one in the circle. So now we've got this. So now each of those 8 beads is part of a group of 4, apart from this last one. So your thread's coming out of this bead here, you're going to sew up through this one on the side, pick up just one this time. You're coming out of this one, you're going to go down into that one opposite. So this is going to be our last group of 4. So go down through that bead and through the one on the bottom that you were originally coming out of. Pull it tight and should have this. So now what you're going to do is you're coming out of that bead on the bottom there, so you're going to sew up through this one which is on the side next to where you're coming out of, and then through this, this red one on the top. So now you've got this, and what you're going to do is sew through all 8 of those beads that are on the top, and that's going to bring them all together. Now you've got this. Okay, so what you're going to do now is pick up 3 more of your red bicones, and you're coming out of this one here, but you're actually going to go back 1 bead and treat these 2 beads as if they're one. So you're coming out of this side, you're going to go into the one behind that and through the one that you're coming out of, like that. So you're coming out of this bead here, you're going to go through this one and this one to make a circle. So you have this. Now you're going to go through the next 2 beads in that top row, and this time you're going to pick up 2 of your bicones. So you're coming out of these 2 here, you're going to go down through that one on the side of that group we just added, and through the 2 that you are coming out of. Pull that down, keep pulling it tight, and keep pulling your tail thread tight as well. And then move your needle through the next 2 bicones in that circle. I'm going to pick up 2 more. Coming out of these 2 here, you're going to go down through the one on the side, through the 2 that you were coming out of on the bottom, pull it tight, and through the next 2 in that circle. Now we're on the last little group, so you're going to step up through this one on the side, this time just picking up 1 bicone, and you're coming out of this one, you're going to go down through that one opposite. So that's the one we just added. Through the 2 on the bottom, and then move up through that one on the side again, and into one of these 4 beads on the top. Now give it a really good pull tight, and we've got this. So now you're going to join those 4 beads that are on the top together, so just sew through all 4 of them a couple of times if you want. Okay, and then you're going to take your last red bicone, and you're coming out of this one on the top, you're going to cross your thread over, you're going to go through the one opposite in the same direction, so that way. So now you've got this. So now you're going to go back through that bicone that we just added, and if you look on this side, the bicone is attached to this bead through this side but not through this side, so you're going to take your thread through the other side of that bead so that it's now attached both sides. Pull it tight. Now you've got this. So your thread's going to be here, exiting out of one of these beads near the bottom. I'm going to want you to sew up through one of these on the side. We're going to be taking one of our white size 11s, and you're coming out of this one here in the top. You're coming out through the top, so you're going to go through this one opposite, the next one that's level to it in the same row, through the bottom also, so your thread's coming out of the top. So it sits like that. Now we're going to pick up another one, and you're coming out of this one now, so you're going to be going through the next one, it's level with that, through the bottom as well, so that your thread's coming out of the top. Turn it again, pick up another bead coming out of this one, so you're going to go up through the next one that's level to that row. Turn your piece, and this is the last one. Pick up your last one, so you're coming out of this one, so you're going to be going up through that first one that we were coming out of. Now we've got this. Now I'm going to turn it round like this. Coming out the bottom of this bead now. We're going to go through that white bead, up through that white bead again. Pull it tight. And down through the next red bicone in the row. Pull it tight, and that just means that that white bead sort of pops into place and it's connected on both sides. So do that again. So you're coming out the bottom of this one, go up through the white bead, down through the next bicone. Pull it tight. Turn your piece again, go up through the next white bead, down through the next bicone, oops, and pull it tight. And the last one, go up through that last white bead, down through the red bicone, pull it tight. That's all your white beads attached at the bottom. Now I can turn it back up the right way, and I'm coming out of this bead here. I'm going to go through this one that sits in that row above, and then I'm going to sew through all 8 beads in that row. This is optional, it just makes it feel a bit more sturdy and less wobbly, easier to work with. So before I carry on, I'm going to do that. Working with bigger beads and heavier beads, sometimes it does loosen off a little bit. So once I've done that, then I'm going to sew up through one of these side beads again. On the top row, I usually just add 4 white beads, so I do every other one, but you can do every one if you want. So pick up one, you're coming out the top of this one, so go up through the next one in that row, and then I'm going to move across one on the top, down one on the side. Because I'm not going to put a white bead here, I'm going to do every other one like I said. Now I'm going to pick up my next white bead, coming down through this one, so I'm going to go down through the next bicone, like that. Move across one of those middle 8 beads, tail thread, and up through one there on the side. Pick up my white bead, coming up through this bead, so we're going to go up through the next bicone, and again across one on the top, and down one in the side. And this is the last one I'm going to do. So pick up my white bead, I'm coming down, so I'm going to go down through the next bicone and across through that one in the bottom. Now what you can do is go back around again and crisscross through those like we did in the row below. That kind of anchors them in place, but that is optional, they look fine just how they are. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. Otherwise I'm going to show you how I add my green beads. So to add our green beads we need to be exiting out of one of these beads on the very top row. So I'm just going to do that. Then you're going to pick up one green bead, you're coming out of this one here, you're going to skip the next one, go through the red bead after that. Do the same again, pick up one, coming out of this one, skip the next one, go through the one after that. Same again, pick up one, you're coming out of this one, skip that next one and go through the one after that. And finally pick up one more, coming out of this one, skip that one, go through the next one. You're just going to sort of pop them into the middle a little bit, and then you're going to step up into that first green bead that we added. And then you're going to sew through all 4 of those green beads a couple of times to bring them together. Pull it really tight and you should have this. Now you're going to pick up 5 green beads. Coming out of this one, you're going to go into the one you're coming out of on the opposite side. You're going to sew up through the first 2 green beads that you just added, skip the third one and go through the next 2. And then through the bottom one. When you pull it tight, it should pop into shape like that. Now you're going to go through the next green one, do the same again. So pick up 5 green beads, go through that bead again in the opposite direction. So up through the first 2, skip the third and sew down through the last 2 and through that one on the bottom, like that. Now you've got 2 of your leaves, you're going to do 2 more just in exactly the same way. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done the last 2 leaves in exactly the same way, and then I just sort of bend them down like that. So this is what we've got. So now if you want to know how to attach this part, I'm just going to show you that quickly. I'm actually going to make mine into a keyring because I've already got earrings, but I'm just going to show you how to do that anyway. We're going to pick up 2 more beads. Well, first make sure that you're exiting out of one of those 4 centre green beads. Pick up 2 beads. I'm coming out of this one, so I'm going to go into the one opposite, in the same direction, so I'm coming through that one in that way, so I'm going to go through the one opposite in the same way, like that. It's easy for this to get tangled. Okay, and then I'm going to go up into one of those beads that we just added, just through the first one. Okay, now I'm going to pick up 8 more green beads. 8. And I'm going to slide the first 4 down and hold on to the last 4. So slide the first 4 down like that and keep the last 4 separate, and then you're going to sew down through those 4 that you slid down, and you're connected to this bead on this side, so you're going to go through the one on the other side so that they're just going to sit central. So then you've got this. Now at this point, if you were going to attach your earring hook or anything, what I'd do is sew back up through this other green bead, back up through all of these, and then I'd sew through these again, this time picking up my earring hook here as well. So you can go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do that, like I said, because I'm not making an earring this time. And then you're going to sew through some more beads until you reach the outside, back into the red beads. And that is the finished strawberry. So then you're going to tie your knots and tie as many as you want to make it as secure as possible. And always remember to move your thread far away from where you tied your knot before you cut it off, so that your knot doesn't unravel. So I'm going to do that and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I've tied my knots and this is what I've got. So I think it turned out really well, and until I go to edit this video, I have no idea how the bicones showed up on camera, so I really hope that it was clear enough that you could at least listen and see a little bit what was going on. I know they're really sparky, they're kind of hard to get to show up well on camera and make it easy to see what I'm doing, so hopefully my explanation was enough as well to get you through it. You can make this with size 6 seed beads for the strawberry, size 8 for the green beads, and then size 11, but as you can see the shape is not quite the same. It's more like a bunch of grapes maybe, you could use that kind of colour scheme. It does work best with bicones, just the shape just makes it more like a strawberry. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and you were able to make one of these and that you were able to see what I was doing with the bicones. And if you did make one, please share it with me on Instagram at Beading by Hannah and follow me over there, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos, and check out all the other fruits and veggies that I've already made on my channel. And comment down below anything else you'd like to see, and like this video if you enjoyed it. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!